Hey, Las Vegas. Welcome back here to Vegas Realty Check, your local Las Vegas real estate news show. I am Trish Williams.
And I'm Tiana Carroll. Welcome back, y'all.
And we're back. We had a fun weekend, or was it a week? Yeah,
it was weekend. A weekend. Yeah, if you've already liked, shared, and subscribed to the show, then you got your fill of us this week, because you not only had us on Thursday, but you had us on the weekend. Saturday, we were shooting a bunch of lives from the My Vegas Magazine home show at the Orleans.
Yes, and we had lots of vendors that were there at the show come tell us about their products, tell us what they have.
Yeah,
there was cool. Some interesting stuff. There was some great things that I was like, hey, I need your services.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, and I could use that, and I could use that. There was actually one of the companies there that I didn't get to get on the air that I wanted to, and it's only because they had an appointment set or they didn't have anybody about the information, but it is I think it's called Bully Dog, and it is a female-owned local business that does AstroTurf. But there's something, I don't know if you know, but sometimes on the back of that AstroTurf, there's some biological material in that glue, so then it gets like mildewy and smelly when you put it in your backyard, especially if an animal's going to the bathroom on it. Mm-hmm. So I think that defeats that. And I was like, come talk, tell people about it, because I think that's very cool, especially for animal lovers. But they didn't get a chance to come over. But look it up online. You can Insta them.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool options there. If you didn't get to check it out, make sure to go check out our social. We have a link tree at realtycheck.vegas. You can see all of our socials, all of our information, and check out all those small little video clips we did for interviews while we were there.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. It was fun to get out and about in the world together.
And it was super exciting because we had like the whole staff there, and we were able to go live with our show, and that was our first time. I mean, we go live every week here in the studio, but that was our first remote shooting, and I loved it.
Yeah, and shout out to our producers, Regal Studios, for joining us out there last weekend. And they were talking to some people about how to create a podcast, how to do what we do. So if that's ever a thing that you're looking for, check out Regal Studios. They'll be able to help you out.
Totally.
And we also, as a result of that, we are going to be on a local news station soon.
We are.
On the 3rd of June, we're going to be on Channel 13 on the Morning Blend talking about our show. So, hey guys, we're kind of getting out there a little bit more. So
it felt like it was a little slow climbing up the hill.
It is.
I know some of you guys are watching us on our YouTube channel or on Facebook, especially like Facebook Lives and stuff. But the podcast gets more downloads than more audio. The podcast, more audio than anybody coming to see us in person or in the YouTube and Facebook. But
I do. I get a lot of people that are like, hey, you don't get a ton of views on YouTube. And I'm like, no, we really don't. But
no, we really
do.
Don't.
We're easy to stream on audio. So we do have a lot of people downloading and listening in the car or do whatever there. So, it's even though like, I thought you guys would all just love to see us live.
Just see our faces, but nobody cares.
Apparently, they like our voices more. I don't know.
Which is A-okay, as long as I don't care where they tune into. I'm so grateful for everybody who's out there tuning in, joining us, who's doing listener questions, who gives us feedback, who is just part of the tribe. So kind and giving. Thank you, y'all.
And doing something like this, a podcast show, is it's a growth journey. So we are slowly but steadily growing. So
I know.
I'm happy for that.
I know. It's exciting.
Yeah. But here, talking about growth, here in Las Vegas, let's talk about
happens here.
Our inventory.
Crazy.
What kind of growth are we having in inventory? Because it is going up a bit.
Yeah, so we do have 3,536 homes on the market, so that's our biggest number of the spring, I believe.
Yes, and I want to say that's like bittersweet, because Tiana's like, yay, more inventory, and I'm like, oh, I'm scared. Like, not scared, I mean, like nothing really scares me, but I'm just like, every time, although I know we need inventory, and this is a good thing, I want to really watch these numbers and make sure that we're not seeing steady week over week increases, because that can turn bad. Well, remember, inventory is what is holding your home values.
Inventory is what's holding your home values. And to your point, I do want to say something that make you a little bit better. We're going to I'm going to jump right past the solds and price reductions for this section, but at least the under contracts, those are pretty steady.
They're looking good.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, it's saying that anything that's coming on the market, so if 10 homes come on the market, then 10 homes are selling.
Yeah.
So we're staying pretty stable in that regard.
And that's good that, yeah, exactly what you're saying. Those numbers are staying really healthy at 656.
Yep.
And this is one thing, like, I just can't say enough, like, how important it is that we watch numbers the way that we do, because we can really see what is happening with real estate by looking at these numbers every week.
Yeah.
It's very...
Yeah, it's very much...
they don't lie.
It's right. It's a pattern.
Yeah.
And we just have a great idea of what's happening in the market whenever we do go ahead and look at those numbers. Speaking of which, let's finish them off. What do we got for solds?
Sold, so we're 412. Good number.
A little lower than our past few weeks, but still a very good number.
Yeah, that keeps us right under 2,000 sold for the month, if that's like a week-over-week trend.
And if you've been here a while, you know we like to be about 2,000 homes a month sold.
I like 3.
Well, let's just have 6,
Yeah.
8, 10. Let's have all of them.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's still about the same. We haven't really seen any crazy jumps in the market.
Yeah, and then price reductions went up a little bit.
They did. They were 463 price reductions this week.
Yeah, and I believe that's a reflection of the little bit of spike in inventory. Just saying.
Yeah, well, competition, man.
Yeah, competition. You got to adjust to be competitive with the others.
Yeah, when the market is competitive, you have to play the game. And, you know, if we have low stock, then it's a seller's inventory, and that's not helpful to buyers. Even though we are technically in a seller's market, I have to say buyers are getting really fair deals and even some contributions sometimes.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm even seeing contributions in some of the really like just hotter price points.
yeah.
Yeah. So those, you know, even though those homes are getting multiple offers and selling, you know, pretty quickly and everything, there's still, in a lot of cases, a little bit of contributions included with it.
Yeah,
So
which
that's
is very
good.
nice, especially for the buyers.
Good for first-time home buyers for sure.
Well, any kind of home buyer. People
Yeah.
love money.
Yeah.
They want to keep as much of it in their pocket as they can. I don't blame them.
Yeah. Seller concessions keep money in your pocket. Let's make that a saying. Sellers. Yeah. I like it.
That'll be a slogan. Sellers concessions keep money in your pocket.
Yeah. Wait, that should be our commercial.
That's right. We can just perfect. That's what we need is a commercial. So if you want to sponsor us so we can do commercials, go ahead, give us a call.
Yes, please. We're all for it. And on that note, if you guys do, if you're watching the show, you want to be like part of like our ground level breakthrough, because we're having a breakthrough.
We're growing, kids. We're growing.
We are growing. So if you want to get in on sponsorship, we are. We're starting to think about that. So if you want to get in on
Yeah, we're
sponsorship,
putting a plan together.
contact us and let's talk about what we can do. We can make up a plan that works. So we are able to be reached on all sources at realtycheck.vegas.
Yep, you go to realtycheck.vegas. It's got our link tree there. You can email us, you can call us. We'll shout out our phone numbers at the end of the show, so stick around for that.
And our phone numbers are there too. They're
Yeah.
they're all we're easy to reach.
We're not hiding. If you need us, we're here.
Yeah. So in news, they've been talking a lot about the airport coming up, which is in Jean, Nevada. I don't know why I just found that out the other day, but now I know.
You're like, there you go.
Yeah. And I was like, where's Jean? But no, it's
90% of our state's population is in Vegas and Reno. So
Yeah.
the rest of the state, we're like, oh, there's other cities.
yeah. So Jean's on the way to LA.
It is.
Yes, I
It
did
is.
find that
We know
out.
where Jean is.
So-
We're just making jokes.
Great place for an airport. I did not know where it's at. I'm not joking.
Really?
I really didn't know where it's at. I had to look it up.
Oh, so
And I was born and
remember-
raised here.
Okay, so when I started doing the MLS, I would always do like a square around town, and the city never went down as far as Jean. But now, because they're building so much on that south end of town, that line to Jean goes further and further. So now when I do my MLS searches, I take them all the way down to Jean.
Yeah. And I had a couple people ask, like, hey, what's for sale in Jean? Because they're building an airport.
Yep.
Potential for real estate. Found 2 listings. There's 2 homes listed there. One of them is a 1-bedroom, and I believe it has like a 14-car garage or something.
Gee, I wonder who would want that house.
Yeah. Older, I would say older, kind of fixer-up style houses, but out in the middle of nowhere. But there's 2 homes available. And I think, just based off a couple people asking me, I think those homes might be getting more attention than they ever did in the past.
Yeah, and that's a thing that as the city towns or our town grows, we're seeing that growth in surrounding areas. And like I said, our city is moving so far south that on the map, that little inch between us and Jean is just growing. So I keep moving my slider down to incorporate all that new build in my searches.
Yeah, and I've talked to a couple people about like Sandy Valley. They're like, oh, that area has got some stuff going on and that area is going to grow. And I've been there and they seem very far from growth. But
Right. I guess the biggest sort of western town around us would definitely be Pahrump because they've got like
the biggest town, but yeah, Sandy Valley's like a little nothing.
Yeah. Sandy Valley, but that always works out well for people in military who are working out at what's it called, Crete?
Well, no. So Creech is on the other side.
Okay. Oh, you're going out the 15. Oh, yeah, Sandy Valley.
Sandy Valley's right by Pahrump.
Right.
Creech is out by what's
Indian
the other?
Springs.
Indian Springs.
Right, I got it mixed
Indian
up.
Springs is
You're
out
right,
there.
You're right.
Yeah.
So that Jean Airport's not the only one. The North Las Vegas Executive Airport is going through an expansion after last year's F1.
Yeah, well, we got to just fly more people here. We don't have enough, apparently.
We don't have enough. Come and get us. But yes, they are doing that expansion for our tourist industry, which is a great support, obviously. But it's also, when they do that executive airport, that's also going to bring in other business. And businesses are expanding in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of everywhere. When I was checking out just what's going on with our infrastructure and our businesses, UNLV has some setup and startup programs for engineering that are starting. Let's see, Nordis Technologies is expanding. They're moving to like a 30,000 square foot facility, and that's all like digital transaction companies, right?
Yeah. And I seen some updates on LV Spaceport that they got, certain things passed or whatever. So it sounds like that might be a go.
So I saw that on, I want to say it was on a national news show.
Yeah.
But they were
It's not
talking.
talked about here.
It's not talked about here, but then I saw it somewhere else, and they're like, if you want to visit space, Vegas is going to be the place to go. And I was like, oh, so they're talking about it.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
they're not talking about it here, which is surprising to me because I think that's like huge news. And then I almost thought because sometimes we see something that they're like, this is going to come, and then nothing happens. They didn't get permits. They couldn't move forward, whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear anything about it since last year. There was a big announcement from Review Journal, and then I didn't hear anything about it. But this last week, I seen something come up that they got some kind of permit or something to work on it. So it does seem like it's in the works.
Yeah, it looks like it's moving forward, which is good.
Yeah. Visit space from Las Vegas. Woo.
I think some people come here and already visit space.
Yeah, but those are on the ground. This is off the ground.
Yeah, you're right.
So
but Vegas is its own kind of fun.
Yeah, so that was interesting. And then this was so great. And I don't know if this article was the inspiration of Rosemary's Questions, which is one of our listener questions today.
Okay.
But I seen an article that I particularly love because I fought this battle myself.
You did, and you literally fought it like a warrior.
I did. I went to war, but we'll get into that when we get Rosemary's question. But the article was saying that in the Southwest, they're getting invaded with scorpions.
So
invaded is quite a big word. So
then I have to wonder: are they really being invaded, or they're invading on territory? Because for a while, the Southwest was chill, not much was going on out there, and then they ended up building like IKEA, and then the Uncommons and Durango Station, and so the city seems to be going out in that Southwest area. So maybe we're moving into their habitat that they were in.
Scorpions did live here before us.
They did.
But we're jumping ahead, so we'll start with Adriana's question, then we'll get to Rosemary's, and we'll talk all about that.
Okay,
I
let's
have
do
lots
it.
to say about those little creatures.
Because we do have, if you go to our website, you can put in listener questions. That's realtycheck.vegas. And if you'd like any questions that you have on real estate, you can go ahead and add them there, and we'll answer them on the show like we are going to do right now.
Yes.
All
And let's start with Adriana.
All right. She says, if a home that is for sale says cash only, does that mean that I cannot use my mortgage pre-qualification to purchase it? And why not?
Yes. And good question, Adriana. I feel like we get this a similar version of this often.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at, like, I think we answered this before, but maybe it just reworded.
Well, we answered something similar. And then the thing is, when I always think of somebody asking like this, right? I don't know anything about Adriana or her situation or whatever. I usually think that these are like a fixer-uppers at a really good price, and then people want to come in, fix them up, and make them their own. Like, if you could get a, 3-bedroom, 2-bath for like $300,000, but it's cash only, then of course everybody who has a pre-qual for that $300,000 is going, yeah, I want to get in there and get it. But chances are that that thing will not be financeable because it will need so much work.
Yes, and the deal with that is when you're getting a mortgage, you have to have an appraisal, and the appraiser goes into the house, and there's certain criteria, code issues, things like that that make the home livable. If it is not considered livable, or it's a deteriorating asset that they don't see as worth the value that they're lending on it, they're not giving you the loan for it.
Right.
So a lot of times the listing agents will go ahead and make that call ahead of time and say, we know this isn't going to be able to be financed. It won't pass the appraisal conditions. So we're offering it cash only.
Right.
And that can even be something as simple as like the pools don't have water, because that's a condition.
Right.
Yeah. Don't have your pool pump and all that stuff like that. You have it drained. That's considered a safety issue because someone could trip and fall in the pool. Liability, the mortgage needs to protect the asset as well.
Yep.
So things like that. Or if you're getting into like even mobile homes, there are some mobile homes that are not converted to real property.
Yep, they're not slabbed.
Yeah, if they're not attached, which means that you can like kind of, I don't know how that works. Like, do you hook it to your trailer and your car and drive away with it? I don't know, but.
Yeah, right. If you can move your home, then it is not real property.
Yeah.
And then if it's slabbed and attached to a foundation, then it becomes a real property and can be sold like real property.
Yes, and you have to own the foundation it's attached to.
Right. You can't be renting it from a mobile home park, or can I say trailer park? I don't want to offend anybody, but mobile home, manufactured home, that's the word. Manufactured home park. There's the one.
They used to be called trailers, but you know what? When they used to be called trailers, they looked just like a trailer, like a travel trailer, right? Yeah. But now they don't really look like a travel trailer anymore.
Well, I think since we've seen like all of the tiny houses, the mindset, just switching the name, the mindset switched around, and they even make them smaller than manufactured homes. And we're like, woo, it's a tiny house. But, you can get them now with modern amenities and cute and smart homes and all of that stuff if that's the route you want to go.
Yeah. And then there's those renovation loans. Now, again, listing agent seller makes the call on this. But if you are able to get the renovation financing and you can get qualified for the renovation, even though it says cash only, a lot of times they're going to have multiple offers and they're going to go for the quickest close and the easiest route. But if they don't, it might be worth a shot to try that, because that is a solution on those homes that are not financeable. So if you get approved for that product, it's worth a shot of trying. So there's that option too.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go to Rosemary.
All right. I'll ask this one to you, since you have done battle in this arena.
I'm telling you, I have not only battled with Scorpion, but like legitimately battled. When I'm talking war,
let's get to the question, and you can tell us all about it, because I remember so many moments and stories, even to this day. Okay, I'm terrified of scorpions, and I have read that there are a lot in Las Vegas. Is there any way that I can guarantee, I love that word, guarantee that the house I'm purchasing does not have scorpions?
Well.
Okay, let's go back to the guarantee. Let's give it a big fat nah.
No. You can have a pest inspection.
Yep, you can do that during your due diligence.
Yes, and there are some scorpion specialized pest control companies
Absolutely.
that will come. I had a guy come out when I bought my home, come out at 9:00 at night.
Yep,
And
because it
my
needs to be
husband-
dark. They got to use a UV light.
Yeah,
so
my
those
husband
little
was like, "You're
suckers
meeting
glow."
who at 9? Like, what is going on?"
He's like, wait, what? 9
The
o'clock?
scorpion hunter.
He's like,
yeah.
what? The bug guy's coming at 9 o'clock at night? Sure he is, Trish. Sure he
Yeah,
is.
but they came out at 9:00 at night with a black light
Yep.
to hunt the property for scorpions to
Yep.
see what kind of problem we have. Because unfortunately, that's when they come out.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's how you can really see what kind of issue you're dealing with. And during the day, they're hidden in a way, and you don't really.
Well, not only that, unless they're like on your tile or something, they're really hard to see.
They
are a almost translucent beige color, and they blend in with all sorts of rocks and sand and everything in our desert environment. Obviously, right? They've got to be protected.
Yeah,
So
but they glow in a black light. I tell
They
you,
sure
they
do.
will stand out. They cannot hide from that light. They can be
Yep.
in between a little brick in the corner and just a little piece of them sticking out, and you see it. Like
Yep.
they are out there. So yeah, when I say war, like we got a samurai sword.
yeah, well, that's not
Literally.
the only weapon you have. My favorite weapon was the salt guns. The whole family was armed with like paintball attire and salt guns, and you guys would have like scorpion killing parties, and
Yeah.
you'd come over and be like shooting these scorpions with the black light and the salt at night.
Yeah, well, yeah, I made a truce. Just don't
Was
come
it
towards
salt,
my
or is
house.
it something like a
It's salt.
diatomaceous earth?
No, it was salt that
Okay.
goes in the salt gun, but it was enough to like disable them.
Okay.
Or,
Yeah. Well, I know like a diatomaceous earth, anything that has that exoskeleton, it'll get in there and like dry everything out and cause them. So like ants and aphids and scorpions and stuff.
Yeah.
But salt, I assume, would do the same thing, right? It's a dehydration process.
I think so, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure on
Okay.
that. But the pest control company did come and put that diatomaceous earth in like the walls, like through my outlets. They took them out and then they sprayed some through the walls because apparently they come through the walls and that's how they like breathe and or what. It just stops them from getting into your house because they
Right.
don't get into your house from like the door being open. Well, they could.
They
but
could.
They
They just wander in like, hey, door was open. Anybody home?
Yeah, so primarily they're coming in through the walls and they're looking for sources of warmth, like
Yep.
your lights, can lights, things like that. So sealing around all of those, pulling them out, sealing the drywall between the the fixture
Yep.
and that opening and all that stuff can prevent them from coming in.
And that's really for any pest, right?
Yeah.
Just making your house airtight.
Yeah, and that was the agreement I had. I was like, if they're out and they're far away, I have a garden box at I have a pretty big lot. I have
Indeed.
a garden box at the end of the lot. If they're back there, they're fine. We have like a line where I draw the line. Like you come past here, it's war.
Wait.
So-
Where is it? Is it the curbing or the where's the?
Yeah, like right in the middle of where the grass is. I'm like,
They get half the grass. That's nice.
Yeah, but like, just too close to the house is too much for me. You're getting too close to entering my zone, and we're not having that. So that is, so I have quite a few scorpion proofing your home tips, and it has worked because I have not seen any in my home. So that is good, and I'm happy about that. And I don't know where there's wood I can knock on to
Not here.
make
You
sure.
can use my noggin.
But I have quite a few tips on that. So if you want to get some more information, reach out to me. But
Yeah.
here's the deal with scorpions in the valley. They have like, I don't know, 20 to 50 babies at a time, right? So they carry them on their back. So they multiply crazy quick.
Yeah, like rabbits.
Like rabbit, and they spread and they multiply and they spread and it goes out and out and out and out, and it's the city initially I've heard that they came in through the palms from Arizona because they're Arizona bark scorpions that we have primarily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that they not only live in like the walls, but they also live in palm trees.
Yes, correct.
So if you're not shaving like those fronds and getting your trees done up, then you can build nests of scorpions. And even worse than scorpions, Rats.
Ew.
Rats can live in those palm frond nests at the top of palm trees.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I mean, it's only a matter of time before they take over the valley.
Okay,
But-
so if you're not living in Vegas, she's being way sarcastic. You are the only person I know that had a scorpion issue. I've been in this town practically my entire life. You've been here your whole life. I came in at junior high, and I think in all of my homes in all of my life, I have trapped 3, maybe 4 scorpions inside.
Yeah, and this is true, but when you're on the outskirts, like closer to the mountains, you're more apt to have those. And that's
Yeah.
where we see them across the valley, on the outskirts mostly, when
Right.
you're close to the mountains, desert, their habitat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we just keep moving into their space, and that's our bad.
Yeah, for sure. So
Danielle, she's an animal lover. She could use that bully turf. I have 3 dogs. I am pre-approved for a home, but the homes in my budget are townhomes and condos. Will they allow me to have my dogs?
so that's a possibly not.
That's going to be specific to the HOAs, if I'm being perfectly honest. And
Yeah.
that's also why in our contracts you have your earnest money deposit or your EMD protected for that CIC report, which is the common interest community, or in other places they call it an HOA. So those rules and regulations will all be in that CIC package.
Right. And I do believe the city has like an ordinance maybe on something with pets, but I think you're allowed 3, but I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what the number is, but
yeah.
there's already ordinances in place, like all of your animals have to be licensed, but very few people who live here even know that.
I didn't know that.
Oh, well, surprise, surprise.
Weird.
Yeah, no, you have to have your animals licensed in the state. So, but there is communities that I've sold in, and we've gotten the HOA package, and they don't allow pets. But animals live in the community because they find the loophole of the service dog or the emotional support animal.
And that is that is a factor as well. And sometimes there's weight limits, there's restrictions,
Yep,
there's
size
number
limits for sure.
restrictions. Always good to check with the HOA. Sometimes, just to save yourself a little bit of time, contract, timelines,
Just
all
phone
this
call.
stuff like that, home inspections. Find out the number to the HOA on the home that you're interested in, and your realtor should be able to provide that to you, or maybe even make the call for you. And call and just find out ahead of time, like, hey, are you aware of any like major pet restrictions that the community might have, so we can know and just save us all some time moving forward. What that is. So
Yeah, totally. Just give that HOA a call even before you go into contract and you're in that due diligence period to see if it's a property for you. And then if they're not willing to answer those questions, I suggest that we sort of hang out in the area and talk to people who do have pets and see if they know if there's any restrictions, because that's how we found out about one place, finding out that there was a limit on dogs, was just talking to a neighbor before we even got the CIC package. Then we got the CIC package and figured, okay, this is correct. We need to really consider if this is the spot or not.
yeah, so that will vary. So good thing to check in, and that's why there's a due diligence that we usually put in contracts. So
Yeah.
that's always a good thing. Back to like registering your pets. Is that like registering a car? Like, do they get a license plate?
Yes, yes, they get a license. Well, they definitely get a tag. So they're tagged with the city.
Huh.
Put on their little kitty collar or their dog collar and be like, hey, I have pets.
So do you like pay an annual renewal?
I don't remember if it's annual or biannually, and it's pretty inexpensive. I think the last one I paid was like $25, and
Where do you get this information?
where do you not have this information?
No, seriously. Like, who tells you? Like, I mean, how?
Well, I think what happened initially was when, was it Sierra? How many animals ago was that? Do you remember Sierra?
I mean, the vets never even like talked about that.
Oh, because that's how I found out. So the first, I think it was Sierra, a dog that I had many moons ago, and she ended up, I was tie-dyeing in my bathtub, and I had these buckets in my bathroom, and while I was gone, she ended up dumping the bucket over and getting into the red dye. So she was pink, and it was adorable because she was a Samoyed, so she was a big white fluffy dog, and then now she was this pink dog, and I was concerned that the dye was going to harm her, and she was a puppy. I took her to the vet, and they let me know, like, you know, oh, it's fine. It's a food color dye, and she's going to be no problem. She can be any color you want with the food color dye. I was like, I didn't intend for this to happen. This was an accident. You should see my bathroom and my carpet. It's trash. But they ended up saying, like, you know, you need to have this done and clean her up and blah, blah, blah. And then they wanted to know if she was registered. And I was like, registered with what?
I've never had a vet even ask that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you're supposed to and nobody does and nobody talks about it. But the vet I went to told me about it. So ever since then, I just keep it all on the legit. Can you imagine somebody coming to your door and being like, excuse me, we're going to take your dog because it's not registered? I would have a heart attack. I would be like, nope. So I just pay the money. It's registered. We're legal. We're good.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know that they could actually take your dog. I don't even know what the consequences are. I don't even know if there's anybody out there enforcing it. But look, I'll get all the information for you.
Legit.
Yeah, I'll get it. Because you have a little smushy face that could be registered.
Yes, I do.
Little smushy face puppy.
Yep.
So
and
I'll
he's
bring
brand new, so I hope there's like a grace period.
Right? You're like, can we have the first year of his life, please? Yeah, I'll get that information. I'll talk about it on the show maybe next week. So that way, if people do want to register, just to be on this up in the safety that they have it.
Yeah.
But like I get like a little card in the mail and stuff.
Are you
like
serious?
Yeah. Like you do your car registration, your registration's due.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
Okay,
Well, Vegas, whatever.
It's a growing town. They need to make money.
Apparently, someone's got to pay for all the remodels they do on the strip.
Right?
So I guess that is the end of our show, guys.
Another one in the books.
Another one. If you are liking the content, you're liking us, please like, share, subscribe. Go check us out on our link tree at Vegas or realtycheck.vegas. You can see everything there, everything we do, and send listener questions. We need more, so please start sending them.
Yeah, send. We need all the questions we can get. And if they wanted to get a hold of you, if they didn't go to the link tree and they're just listening to this podcast in their car or something and they want to grab a quick phone number, how do they get a hold of you?
702-308-2878. And Tiana, how do they reach you?
You can always give me a call or shoot me a text. I'm at 702-379-9948. We're also here every Thursday. 9:30 in the morning, going live on our Facebook page, and then you can get us anywhere you can download any sort of podcast. So
9:30-ish.
9:30-ish.
We're
pretty good about it.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys.
We're pretty goodish.
Yeah, we're goodish. Yeah. We'll see you guys next week, and thanks for tuning in.
Until then, have a great week, Vegas. Bye.
Bye.